focusing today on the electronic submission of projects or thesis. Which is basically an online system that we currently have that will facilitate users uploading their thesis or research projects. What I want to just discuss exactly what the system is about, and I guess give a brief overview of the users of the system, right? So who uses the system, after which we'll have the demo. So ESPRO was initially developed by and for the Faculty of Medical Sciences postgraduate DM programs, facilitating the submission of projects and all accompanying documents to both internal and external examiners. On receipt of the project, examiners were able to review and provide feedback on the projects. So now we have extended the system to now allow students pursuing doctoral degrees and those in both the MSc Nutrition and MA Cultural Studies to submit their thesis or research paper online. So again, there's no need to come into the office to submit your documents, which I guess is a great thing to have now. And I guess it also, not guess, it reduces the bonding that you would have to do. So once you create your Word document, you don't have to run around to say, well, all right, I need to get this done, I need to get it bounded. You can submit a document online and it will reach the graduate studies. So obviously, for the persons who will be using the system, the students would be the primary users. And at minimum, we're saying that, hey, there's no need for you to walk into the office with your documents. You should be able to sit from the comfort of your home once you have internet access to submit your thesis online to be marked or assessed, right? And we take it a step further to now include the staff members. So again, affording them the ability to be at home or wherever they are. If it's on the beach, you can still review these projects online and whatever documentations that should accompany the projects. The examiners now, they too, both internal and external, have the option to view the documents and so forth. So, but we have that here. So students, as I said before, so view and upload the thesis and the required documentation. For the staff, verify the research paper, because yes, the student would have uploaded the document, but the Office of Grad Studies need to go through and ensure that all these documents are correct. So not just the thesis itself, but stuff like your examination receipt, your certificate of completion, your ethics approval letter and stuff like that. Just verify and check off all of those. And for the examiner, we're taking the projects to them as well, so they are able to view, download, and mark the thesis, and also upload any review that they have. Well, not any. There's an examiner's report that's required that they will upload to the system. So I'll move into the demo now. So we'll start with the student, and it's the same system that you guys are familiar with, the student administrative system. So let me get to that right now. All right, so most of you would have been familiar with the student administrative system. So that's SAS, or administration system SAS. And this is a login. So this is the point of entry for both student and staff members in the Office of Graduate Studies and Research. For the purposes of this demonstration, I linked my staff ID to my student account. So I log in with my staff ID. So for students, what you will enter here is your student ID along with your password to enter SAS. So again, it's the same system that you're familiar with. For registration, this is the one that you'll use to upload your thesis. All right. So again, what you're seeing is a staff view. For student, it would be student services that you'll see. And you will see a link looking similar to the one that's here that says ESPRO, electronic submission of projects. And you'll now select that link. All right, so it will take you to the page here that says thesis submission and attempt to match your student profile with the program that you're in. There's some stuff that prof and the representative from grad studies can speak to in terms of the students that will have access to the system. So there are some rules that are currently in place. So one, you have to be financially cleared for the current semester that you're submitting the thesis for. Two, there's a credit limit. They can speak further to that depending on the program of study that you're doing as well. And you have to be a registered student, right? So those are three of the basic rules that you must satisfy before the thesis submission. So even if you click the link, then you won't gain access unless all of those are cleared. So I think there should be something for, because you would have exceptions where a student is financially cleared, however, it's not reflected on the system. So there should be something in place that you can contact the Office of Graduate Studies to have that query done, and they will, I guess, do the investigation for you guys. But you have to be financially cleared as per the system. All right. So this is what you will see. So your name, it will just basically do a check, and the program that you're currently doing, or in my case, have done. Then you're required to enter some information. These being the title of the thesis. The title that you enter should match the title that you would have submitted to the Office of Graduate Studies. But there again, we'll do a check on that as well. Depending on the program of study, then it will tell you the type of project that you can submit. So whether it's a research paper or a thesis, for the purpose of this demonstration, only I'm displaying the thesis now. So let me just create a nice thesis title. So this is my thesis. I think we can work with that. And selecting the type to be thesis. All right, so below we have a list of documents that the student can submit. So one obviously would be the thesis. So this is very straightforward in terms of what is required. Let me get here. And where it is, bro. Right, so just like any web form that you would have used before, as you said, the inputs that are required for this form is just really one thing you type in and is a title. The others are mostly just selecting documents. So we're choosing a thesis. I think, so right now I would have had a list of all the documents that I would require. The system accepts both PDF and Word document, but I think the preference for the thesis would be a Word document. So I'll select this Word document here for the thesis. And the Turnitin results, so you would have done some check. So you'd have done your Turnitin and you can upload those as well. So let me put a PDF document for that one. Your certificate of completion as well. And your ethics approval letter. And I get Prof and the Office of Grad Studies will speak to this as to the students that are required for this, because not all thesis would require an ethics approval letter. But let me just put one there nonetheless. And your examination receipt. All right, currently for your exam receipt, I'm not certain how you would achieve getting the receipt without coming in on campus to the cashiers. I know that there were MITS and the bursar were working on a solution where you could pay all of those fees online. If that is done, then I guess later on we'll be able to you could pull your receipts from that aspect and have it here without coming into campus. But right now, I think you have to come on campus in order for you to get that exam receipt. So we uploaded the receipt. And if you had any other publications, say you had published some documents before, you could go ahead and add that. But this is not a required fee. Just in case you had it, you could post it. All right, so let me submit this now. All right, so now it would have submitted the document. So now, and it's stating the list of documents that were submitted and so forth. So this would basically be the end of the process for the student. They could go in and view the submission as well. But I said this is linked to my staff, so I'm actually seeing a staff view. So again, it would list your program, the date that you submitted, the academic term, who uploaded it, and the title of your thesis. And the student, you'll be able to check the documents that you would have uploaded and view and stuff like that. All right, so let me just close this off for now and log out and then log back in as a staff member. So now we would have closed off the role of the student and we want to re-enter the system now as a rep from the Office of Graduate Studies and Research. So again, it's the same link. It will take me here and you would view the submission. All right, so let me go in. And then what they would do is basically go through and check the document. So it's a PDF document. So you're unable to view the PDF document, sorry, a Word document, until a process is run. So if I should download the document now, you will see the document downloaded here. Let me just check it, open it. All right, it's a Word document that was downloaded. All right, so this is the Word document that was downloaded. Well, one uploaded to the system and now downloaded. So hopefully you can see what's there. This is my thesis, a Word document when downloaded, PDF when viewed. So right before we get to the examiner's part, I will run the process that would basically convert this Word document to a PDF document that allowing it to be viewed online and not download it. So you don't have to download the document, you can view it online as well. All right, so I would have seen the project documents. I'm saying that's fine. I can look at the Turnitin results online because this was a PDF document. And now you're seeing the Turnitin results that were uploaded by the student. And they, of course, they'll go through and check all the documents, right? But a document that the Office of Grad Studies would add would be the Turnitin results of the faculty that they'll get. So remember that wasn't added by the student. So now it's saying that this document wasn't added. So now it's the role of the Office of Grad Studies to add this document or include a document, which I'll now do here. So faculty Turnitin results. Choose So file, and I think this is it. No, I'll just save it. All right, so now it has the faculty office turn-in results and all of that there. And let me view, and it is there as well. All right, so the important thing to note as well, the fact that you're able to upload those documents, if for whatever reason there was something wrong with the project document, you have the option to upload that project document again. So you have multiple project documents that will be there. So you can upload the project documents nonetheless. Same for the Turnitin result, the cert of any of these documents, you can have multiple copies and they'll be uploaded to the system. All right, so let's go. So I would have checked all of this as the initial rep for the Office of Graduate Studies. And I'm saying these documents are fine. So I'm okay with it. Then it is now saved and the status would have been changed to review, right? And now, yes, the results, yes, you upload. These are not saying you would have uploaded the Turnitin results. No, the office need to indicate whether or not the results were acceptable. So I think there is a percentage that is acceptable. They can speak to that. So it's either yes or no. If it's no, then you place a comment, yes, that's fine. Then no, it would state that it's approved by the Office of Graduate Studies. And then we can now send the project to the examiner. All right, so the project is now sent to the examiner. So at this point, I will log out and exit here. So I'm no longer in SAS. So now an email or an alert would have been sent to the examiner that there is a project or research paper or thesis for them to view. So they will enter the system slightly different from the students and the Office of Graduate Studies. All right, so. All right, so this is where they will enter. So again, the message would have been sent to the email and a link would be provided and they will enter the system from this point. For examiners, both internal and external, you would have been given or assigned to the system via an email address that you would have been supplied. So this would be the email address would be your ID number or username that would link you to the system. And you would have created a password upon being registered in the system. And the password you can change if you have forgotten the password. It's very straightforward here. You click this link and it will basically resend a link for you to reset the password. So. All right, so when the examiner logs in, this will now be what they see. So a list of projects or paper for them to act on. And it will state clearly the ones that are up for review and the ones that they would have made some decisions on. So this one was the one that was submitted today. So let me check, it's a for review. So you would now select the icon here to state your review. But before doing that, you would want to I guess, view the project or download the project. As I said, it won't be viewable online now because the process for this runs every hour. So the option that you would have to view the project or the examiner is download button. Let me see if I could run the process now. Or there are others that I can look at. So for example, this one here is a PDF document would have been in the project. You can view that project online. Right, so you view the PDF document there, or it can be downloaded. If it's downloaded, the Word document would display if it was a Word document that you would have uploaded. All right, so there are some instructions that are sent out to the examiner. They'll know as to how their review is to be done. But what we're asking for is for you to indicate whether or not you were able to download a document. So this will kind of provide some feedback to the Office of Grad Studies and the administrators as to exactly what is happening. And I guess hopefully this can also, I don't know if that is something that is practiced, but we could inform the student, all right, well, it was sent off to the examiner at X point, and we see that they have downloaded the project successfully. So, it is being reviewed then still. So you're able to provide more feedback to the student using the system. If there are issues with the document, meaning, they can't, for whatever reason, it's corrupted, it's, you can't view it, or there is some technical issues where it hasn't happened, but say the document is too large, because that's a point that needs to be made. So how the system was done, it allowed you to upload very, very large documents. But say for whatever reason, the document is way beyond what was spec for the system, you could say, all right, I tried downloading, but there is some issue with this. Or your connectivity is bad because the speed of how the document is downloaded is dependent on your internet connectivity. So that plays a part in it as well, but you could indicate that you're unable to download the document. And at that point, an alert will be sent to the Office of Graduate Studies and Research. But say you successfully downloaded the document, then it will indicate here that the document was successfully downloaded, and this would be information that grad studies would have to use now. All right, so for the review, these are what we have now. So satisfactory, major corrections required. And so these are all the review options or the statuses that would be provided by the examiners. Let me just, now they're able to supply a free form comment. For the thesis though, there's no grade, so they can use the NA, or if it's something that requires a grade, then they have the option for the grades below that they can supply. In addition, to providing the free form, the report that is required is to be uploaded using this one. So I think it's called exam review. And then it's save, at which point the Office of Grad Studies would be alerted. And that's basically it for the examiner. When they close it off, then all of these would basically disappear from the examiner's screen. So that is basically the process up to this point, where the examiner is able to view the document and provide feedback. There are other steps which we might discuss in the session that will involve taking it from the examiner to the whole oral examination and stuff like that. But that's a back and forth process. But in essence, the core of the system is you getting documentation from the student, it being reviewed by the Office of Grad Studies and Research, sent to the examiner where they can review, mark, and supply their feedback. And that process will just be repeated depending on the overall outcome.